Hello and welcome to the CALDO webinar. We are 2 minutes away from 7 o'clock, so I just want to welcome everyone that it's already online, and we will wait a couple more minutes, so 2 more minutes, and then we will start with a brief presentation of what will happen, and we will then move on to the presentation. So I'll be back in a minute or so. Thank you so much. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the CALDO webinar. We are very excited in doing this webinar, since this is our first webinar with Mexico. We have just signed an agreement with the Mexican agency CONACYT, and we are extremely excited and happy to be able to engage with Mexican candidates that are eventually considering to do their graduate studies abroad. So the agreement that was signed with CONACYT is an agreement for graduate studies. So candidates that are interested in doing masters and PhDs in Canada. So most of the topics that will be covered in this presentation are exactly about information about master programs and PhD programs. The way that the webinar will work is pretty simple. We will have an initial period where I will be addressing the presentation, so it will take around 30 minutes. And then we will have a period for answers from yourself, and I will be able to clarify any doubts that you may have. So for placing your questions, you will have to use the chat box that is opened. You will be able to write there. You can either write in Spanish or in English. So I understand perfectly Spanish. So you can write in Spanish if you feel more comfortable, or in English as you prefer. So one thing that I would like to start with is, why are we called CALDO, you may wonder. So CALDO is the initials of Consortium of Alberta, Laval, Dalhousie, and Ottawa. So these were the four initial universities that were part of this consortium: Alberta, Laval, Dalhousie, Ottawa. And then in 2014, another four universities joined, and we reached the stage of the current 9 universities that are part of the consortium CALDO, and for which we will be addressing during this presentation. So one of the first things that we always like to start with is, why should you consider studying in Canada? Canada is usually a place that it's known for its multicultural aspect in terms of population. And that's a reality. In Canada, you will find people from all over the world, which makes it a very unique country in that you are able to engage with people from every part of the world very easily. All the cities have a very big multicultural aspect to it, and even when you're studying in university, you will find colleagues from all around the world. In addition to that, if you get a degree from a Canadian university, that degree will be recognized anywhere else in the world. The Canadian higher educational system is recognized worldwide, so anyone with a diploma from Canada will certainly have a wide array of opportunities anywhere in the world where the diploma will be recognized. Canada is also a country that dedicates a lot of resources, mainly financial resources, to research and development. The Canadian universities are very well funded in terms of research, so you will find state-of-the-art laboratories, you will find professors from all over the world, you will be able to engage with researchers and colleagues from different parts of the world. So it's a very comprehensive experience that you will have when attending a Canadian university. One of the other things that it's unique to Canada, especially in North America, is the fact that Canada is a bilingual country. So Canada has two main languages, two official languages, English and French, and you will be able to study in any of them, depending on the university where you are. You can either study in English or you can study in French. The Canadian graduate programs are somewhat similar with the ones that you will find in Mexico. So after you finish your bacharelado, your undergraduate, like it's called in Canada, you will be able to move on to a master's degree. That master's degree usually takes 2 years if it's a thesis-based master. So if it's a master that involves doing research, or it might take a bit less than that if it's what it's called a course-based master, or mestrado profissional, like it is known in some countries. These course-based masters, usually it's not the most suitable option if you're looking to do afterwards a PhD, because you don't have research involved in the course-based master, so it's hard to get to get this type of program recognized when you're interested in doing a PhD afterwards. Once you completed the master program, you will usually be able to register for a PhD. So one thing that it's important to understand is that it's not very easy for you to go directly to a PhD from an undergraduate degree, from a bacharelado. So what will happen is that usually the professors will need some reassurance that you are comfortable doing research. So in order to be more certain that you are able to do research, they usually prefer students that have a master's degree when they are wanting to enroll in a PhD. A PhD program usually takes around 4 years. So I think it's pretty similar to the system that you will find in Mexico. One of the curious things about our universities is that the 9 universities combined have a total of 99 programs in the top 150 world ranking that it's published every year by the QS, the QS company. So this is basically a company that assesses universities' rankings, and they publish every year the ranking of subjects, so the ranking of program areas. And within the 9 CALDO universities, you will find 99 programs that are within the best in the first or within the first 150 in the world, which is a remarkable number because obviously this is a very competitive process, and to have almost 100 programs listed for all of our 9 universities is an excellent record. If you are interested in finding out which are the programs that were selected for 2016, you will find them on our website. Also, tomorrow you will receive this presentation, so you will also be able to just click where it says for full list, click here, and have access to the programs. Obviously, since this is a webinar, you are not able to click there now, but once you receive the presentation, you will be able to click on the link. Obviously, by saying this, I'm automatically informing you that this presentation will be made accessible to you. It will be sent to your email tomorrow. So, where are located the CALDO Universities? So Canada, as you may be aware, is the second largest country in the world. So the universities stretched all across the territory. So in the west of the country, you will find the universities of Alberta and Calgary in the province of Alberta. In the province of Saskatchewan, you will find the University of Saskatchewan. That's located in the province with the same name. In Ontario, that's where you will find most of our universities. You will find the University of Waterloo, Western, Queens, and Ottawa. In the French-speaking province of Quebec, you will find the University of Laval, Université Laval. And in the province of Nova Scotia, you will find the University of Dalhousie University. Let's look a bit in more detail at each of the CALDO universities so that you have an idea of which type of expertise they have developed. One important thing, however, to consider about our universities is the fact that they are all comprehensive universities. Basically, what this means is that all of our universities will offer programs in the main areas of knowledge. So if you're interested in doing a program in the area of social sciences, in the area of engineering, in the area of exact sciences, business, you will definitely find a program that is suitable for you in almost all of our universities. Just for you to have an idea, the universities combined offer a total of 2,000 master programs and around 1,500 PhD programs. So obviously there is a lot to choose from. So let's start with the University of Alberta. The University of Alberta is located in the city of Edmonton. This city is the city that it's the capital of the province of Alberta. The University of Alberta is a worldwide recognized university in different fields, and they have a huge reputation worldwide in the fields of life science and medicine. They are one of the best universities in the world in the areas of pharmacy and pharmacology, and they also have a huge reputation in the areas of energy. So for those that are not familiar with the geography and the economy of Canada, the province of Alberta is where most of the oil extraction is done. So the universities of this province have developed a huge expertise in developing clean ways of extracting oil from the oil sands, and also ways to improve the end result of extracting oil, so that it's a sort of a cleaner energy, or at least as clean as it can be. One other area that Alberta has a lot of expertise is in the areas of diseases, infectious diseases. So some of the world's best researchers in the fields of virus-based disease are doing research at Alberta. Additionally, you have in here some of the research areas of excellence of the university, and as you can see, it goes all the way from humanities, arts, energy, science, technology, and then other fields such as society and culture. In a nutshell, basically, all of our universities are able to offer excellent quality of programs disregarding the area. However, since you may have a preference to work with a particular supervisor that is doing research in a specific area, that's where things get more interesting, because you might be able to find a perfect match of a supervisor, especially if you're doing a PhD or a master with thesis, that will be able to study exactly the area of interest that you are looking for. In the same province, we also have the University of Calgary. The University of Calgary, like the University of Alberta, also has an excellent reputation in the areas of medicine. They are one of the 100 best universities in the world in the research of in the areas of medical research, especially in the areas of neurosurgery, and stem cell production. And they also have a huge expertise in the areas of low carbon energy system or clean energy. Aside from that, the research excellence areas of the University of Calgary are energy innovation, earth and space technologies, infection and chronic diseases, human dynamics, and brain and mental health. One of the curious things about the CALDO office is that since all of our universities offer a huge array of choices, we are the contact point for anyone that has an interest in finding out which are the programs that best suit your interest. So one of the things that we will be addressing in our presentation is what type of services we offer, and definitely one of the main services that the CALDO office offers is assistance in finding the best program for that matches your interests. The Dalhousie University is located in Halifax. Halifax is a city that it's just beside the Atlantic Ocean, and because of that, this university has developed a huge expertise in the areas of ocean research, aquatic research, sustainable life in the oceans, Arctic exploration and conservation, and also in the areas of energy related to, for example, batteries. So the University of Dalhousie has partnered with Tesla, the American company that makes electric cars, to help develop low cost efficient batteries. So they are basically working in order to provide more affordable solutions for batteries. Other areas of interest from Dalhousie are ocean studies, like I mentioned, clean technology, advanced materials, health and wellness, agriculture, energy, and so on. Université Laval. The Université Laval, it's one of the biggest Francophone universities in North America. They have a huge campus. They are located in a wonderful city, Quebec City. It's probably one of the most most interesting cities to visit in North America. The University of Laval, it's the oldest Francophone university in North America, and they have expertise in different areas. So, for example, they have different research centers in the areas of physics, optics, photonics, in the areas of geomatics, and in the areas of studying climate change. They also have a huge expertise in the areas of forestry, so the management of forests, sustainable development of forests. Other areas of expertise of Laval revolve around agricultural and food science, medicine, economics, and then political science, and so on. One of the great things about Université Laval is that although they are mainly a French-speaking university, if you're interested in doing a PhD and you find a supervisor that is willing to work with you in English, it is quite possible for you to undertake the PhD in the English language, mainly doing your thesis in English. So they are pretty flexible in that sense. The University of Ottawa. The University of Ottawa is located in the capital city of Ottawa. Just out of curiosity, the CALDO office is also located in Ottawa. The University of Ottawa is the largest bilingual university in North America, meaning that they are the university that offers the most programs in either French and English, which makes it a huge, a very good option. For example, if you're interested in studying in French, but living in an English-speaking city, for example. The University of Ottawa is ranked in the 125th world position in the areas of life science and medicine. It is home to one of the most advanced centers for quantum photonics in North America, the Max Planck University of Ottawa Center for Extreme and Quantum Photonics. It is also home to some of the most state-of-the-art laboratories in the areas of civil engineering, for example, anti-vibration construction, nano fabrication of materials. So they have a huge expertise and huge resources that they can offer their students to develop research in different areas. Other areas of excellence are the areas of health, e-society, molecular and environmental sciences, and Canada and the world. Since the university is located in the capital city, where the federal government is located, they have developed also a huge expertise in the areas of political science and public administration, and so on. Queen's University. Queen's University is located in the city of Kingston. So the city of Kingston is located between Ottawa and Toronto. So this university offers excellent laboratories and expertise in the areas of geography and area research. They are also world-renowned in the areas of fuel cell research, computing, and health services and policy research. You might have heard about Queen's University last year because one of their professors won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 2015. And some of the areas of research are particle astrophysics. I think this was exactly the area where they won the Nobel Prize. Cancer research, global and community health, sustainable energy, and social issues such as surveillance, poverty, and bullying. The University of Saskatchewan. The University of Saskatchewan is located in the city of Saskatoon. So the University of Saskatchewan is located in the province with the same name, Saskatchewan. And this province is considered to be the barn of Canada, meaning that they have developed a huge expertise in the areas of agriculture. And therefore, the University of Saskatchewan is ranked among one of the best universities in the world in the area of agriculture, but is even ranked higher in the areas of veterinary science. So if you're interested in studying veterinary science, this is definitely one of the best options in the world that you have. They also have one of the most developed light source laboratories, and they have developed in their agricultural department more than 400 commercial crop varieties, which shows how strong they are in the areas of research in food science and agriculture. So that being said, their areas of excellency are agriculture, water security, energy, Aboriginal studies, synchrotron science, and One Health. One Health is basically a unique approach that Saskatchewan has as to combine human, animal, and ecosystem health in one big subject for research purposes. University of Waterloo is located in the city with the same name, and this is one of the best universities in the world if you're thinking on studies in the areas of exact sciences and computer science. The city of Waterloo has been in the news recently because they are basically turning, the city is becoming a sort of a Silicon Valley up in the north. So the expertise that the university generates has led to very big companies such as Google, Facebook, to install offices in Waterloo, since they want to recruit students directly from the university, and therefore they have decided to open offices in this city. The university has an excellent reputation in different areas, in the areas of computer science, mathematics, geography, and area studies. Their faculty of engineering is considered one of the best in the world. They also have a water institute that is one of the best research institutes in the area of water research in the world. And that being said, they are basically one of the best universities that you can choose if you're definitely interested in studying in one of the areas that I mentioned above. The only faculty that they don't offer is medicine. So obviously, if you're looking to study medicine, Waterloo will not be the choice for you, since they don't offer that program. Finally, Western University. Western University is located in the city of London, Ontario. And it's one university that has an excellent reputation in the areas of business, and psychology. So just last year, Western MBA was considered to be the first in the world by the Bloomberg world ranking, the best international MBA in the world. By international, they mean MBAs that were considered outside of the United States. They also have a huge expertise in the areas of geography, medicine, statistics, and chemical engineering. Waterloo has an excellent reputation in the areas of neuroscience research. So if you're interested in studying in this field, they offer some of the most advanced laboratories and researchers that you can find anywhere else. And they also offer research excellency in the areas of biomaterials, wind engineering, musculoskeletal health, philosophy, science and exploration, and environmental sustainability and green energies. So now that you have an overview of what the CALDO University's profile is, why should you choose a CALDO University instead of going elsewhere? One of the biggest aspects that our universities offer is that they are used to having international students in their campus. This means that they have developed a huge array of services that will enable students to feel welcome and to have all the necessary conditions to be successful in their studies. They have residencies for students, they have residencies for families, they have support services for students, for example, that are not comfortable in writing in English or in French. They have sports facilities that students have access to, transit services, so transportation services, or at least offer support for students to be fully equipped to have a bus pass if required, counseling services if the students feel that they need some sort of support. So there's this whole structure that is built around the students that will help them succeed. In 2016, there was a ranking that was published in the beginning of the year, which were the best 200 universities in the world in terms of employability. 4 CALDO universities were mentioned in this ranking: Waterloo, Alberta, Queens, and Calgary. And this is something that makes us very proud because it attests the quality of our universities. Obviously, this does not mean that any of the other universities will mean that you will have trouble finding a job, but this is just one example of how good our universities are in terms of the whole world ranking of universities. So in terms of the CALDO and its services, so first of all, CALDO belongs to the university, so we are not an office that exists on its own. We are not a private company. We belong to the universities. And the purpose of CALDO is to assist students that are abroad and that don't know a lot about our universities, or might not know the opportunities that they offer, to find a suitable program and also to find a suitable supervisor for their studies. So one of the big advantages of CALDO is that through just one single point of contact, through our office, you will be able to have access to the programs and the options of all the 9 universities. And you will also have access to a free pre-screening admission process. What does this mean? It means that basically by submitting a specific set of documentation that I will address in one of the next slides, you will be able to know if you are eligible to enroll in a PhD or a master program, and if you are able to have access to the supervisor that you're interested in. So let's move on to the next slide so that I can talk a bit more about the documents and a bit more about the service. So the first thing that you will also need to realize is that this is a free service, so you don't pay anything for it. As long as you submit all the documents that we need and you are able to bring financing from your country, so you would need to be applying, or at least thinking on applying, to a scholarship such as the CONACYT. you would be eligible to have this free pre-screening service for assessing eligibility for admission. So which are the documents that you need? The first thing that you will need to gather are very basic things. So an academic CV. You would need the transcripts of your previous degrees. So if you have a master degree and an undergraduate, you would need to have both documents in the original version or translated into English by the university itself or by a translator, because you need to those documents needed to be sent to the universities, and they can only assess them in English or in French. You will also need to produce a statement of research that it's basically just a 1 to 2 pages document where you will say what is the type of research and project that you would like to do. And you would need to send also proof of English or French proficiency, depending on the university that you're applying to. One important thing is that for the English, you would need to have usually either the TOEFL IBT or the IELTS academic. And for French, you can have the TFI, the DALF, or the DALF. Okay, and then obviously one of the things that varies per program is the requirement. So some programs will imply that your score is higher than others. One other thing that you will need to tell us is if you're planning to apply to financing. So by financing, I mean a scholarship. So if you're planning to apply to the CONACYT, that's enough for us. And you will need to identify a supervisor, except if you're applying to a course-based master. To identify a supervisor, we assist you on this, and basically online, all of our universities list their professors and their areas of research. So we will help you navigate through the website and basically tell you where you can find the information on the supervisors for the program that you're interested in. We have a database that is specifically designed for this pre-screening process, that it's available via this link, apply.caldo.ca, and this is where you will submit all the documents that are required. Finally, I would strongly suggest that you visit our website, because there's a lot of information there that will help you understand what we do, our universities, and the type of programs that we offer. This big button that you see here is the button that will lead you to the pre-application portal, so where you can submit all the documentation for us to afterwards let you know if you are eligible to enroll or not. We have a new feature that it's not reflected here, that it's on top of this button, that it's a program browser. So you can also look for programs. So you can just put, for example, mechanical engineering, and you will have access to all the offers that our universities provide. And for any questions related to graduate studies, so questions related to what we just talked about, you can send an email to graduate.coordinator@caldo.ca. I am the one that it's supervising this email. So if you have attended this webinar, for example, you can just tell me that you have attended the webinar and that you would like further information about the program of your interest. Or, for example, if you already know that you would like to go to a specific university but don't know exactly what are the admission requirements, we can also assist you in that. So you can use our services for anything that it's related to applying to one of our universities. That's what we are here for. We are here to assist everyone to apply to our universities, because we realize that the process of applying to a university abroad is not always easy. One of the things that we are now open to is questions and answers. So like I said at the beginning, you will be able to write the questions that you may have on the chat box, and I will be replying verbally to your questions. One of the things that you can also do is you can either write your questions in Spanish or in So Laura is asking if the agreement is effective with CONACYT. Yes, Laura. The agreement is in place, so you can apply to any of our universities by through the current call that it's already open. So definitely you can apply. Who can you contact for CONACYT? Well, I am not sure who is the contact there. I believe they must have a general email for student or candidates questions, but definitely the agreement is already in place. So Aurea is asking, the pre-screening submission, I can only choose January winter or January winter 2017. What if I would like to start in the fall term? So don't worry, Aurea. In the pre-admission screening, you will have a comment box below. In the comment box below, you can put that you plan to start your studies in a specific date. So there's no problem there. If my university provides English transcript, do I still need the transcripts in Spanish? No. If your university already provides the transcripts in English, definitely you can just send those, and those are more than enough. Some universities may not do that, so that's why we request the original and the translation. But if the university does that, that's better. You can just send the English version. So Sylvia, if the university accepts us, we will get a scholarship. No, you will need to apply to both. So how it works is the following: you will apply to the CALDO University to get an admission letter, and then with that admission letter, you will submit that admission letter to CONACYT. Okay, because CONACYT needs evidence; they need proof that you have an admission of a university so that they can consider you for a scholarship. Ninel, if you can apply any season of the year. That's a good question, Ninel. Some programs do allow students to apply throughout the year, especially, for example, if you're looking for PhD programs and some master. Depending on the department, if they don't assess you on that specific time of the year, they will let you know. But definitely you can submit a CALDO application any time of the year, and then we will let you know if by any chance the department is not able to assess your request at that time. David, you're asking, English proficient test as an expiration date. Yes, I have a score. Okay. So you're right, David. So a test cannot have more than 2 years. So if your test is from 2010, you will need to do another one because those tests are only valid for 2 years. So Laura is asking if I'm already accepted to start in fall 2016. Can I apply to CALDO? So Laura, I'm not sure if you're accepted. You're accepted in the university, and I can start in the fall. Well, that depends on when CONACYT is issuing the scholarship. So I'm not sure if all of you are familiar, but in the CONACYT website there is a specific section for becas al extranjero. So you will need to go there and see what are the dates that they mention. Kenya, you're asking if there are programs in the educational area. Definitely, our universities offer programs in the educational area. In terms of the scholarship from CONACYT, you would need to verify if they are willing to finance that area. Sometimes they don't finance the areas of education. So some questions are just coming up, so I'll just so Eric, desejo acceder a un doctorado, ¿cuál tiempo máximo tras la maestría puedo aplicar? So Eric, if you already have finished your master degree, you can apply to a doctorate right away. You can even apply to a doctorate before you finish your master program, okay? But obviously you cannot start the program before finish. You cannot start your doctorate before finishing the master. But to apply, you can apply either after you finish your master or in the last months of finishing your masters, okay? If you are 3 months away from finishing your master program, you can apply to a PhD, or at least initiate the process to apply. Marie-Claire, you're asking the university which you said it's best to study computer science and it's speak in French or just in English. So Marie-Claire, I believe you're referring to Waterloo. Waterloo is an English-speaking university, so I'm pretty sure that it will be difficult for you to study there in French. So if you're interested to study in French, you would have the options of Ottawa or Laval. Okay, they also offer computer science. Miguel Bravo. Some programs ask the GRE test results. Where can I submit this in the form? So Miguel, in our form, we have other attachments. So we have, I think it's at the bottom, other documents. So you can submit other documents there, anything, GRE test or others. Kenya, I wasn't specifying the program. I'm asking for master program research. Okay, Kenya, I believe you're asking about the educational field. Yes, you will have programs in the educational field in master programs. Yes. In most of the universities, Kenya, you will find that program in most of our universities. But I would advise you to go to our website and use our program browser. You just need to type education, and you will have access to all the options. Sylvia, you're asking, can I not send the official transcript? In the pre-assessment of CALDO, you can just send. So you would need to send a scanned copy of your transcript, okay? And you can send an English translation that it may not be the final one, because for the pre-assessment that's not a problem. But in the end, when you're submitting a formal application to one of our universities, you would need to have the original documents. So just for me to add something, the pre-admission process that CALDO offers is just one step. The other step is, if you're really interested in receiving an admission letter from one of the universities, you will need to submit a formal application to that university. Meaning that, let's imagine that you're interested in applying to one of the 9 universities, but you're not sure which one will accept you. So you will submit a pre-assessment from CALDO, that's free. And then, but depending on the university that say that they will accept you, you will need to choose one and submit a formal application. Okay, this formal application, you will need to go through all the process that all students go. So you will need to submit original documents. You will need to pay the admission the admission fee, that it's around $100, and that's the regular process for everyone. Andrea, sorry, you are not able to submit the TOEFL ITP, only the IBT. Yes, the ITP is not suitable. Stefania, do I need to apply first to CONACYT or to CALDO? Which one is first? Thanks. So Stefania, it's you can apply to any of them first. So there's not a rule there. So you can start your application with CONACYT, and then I believe that you are able to save all the information that you have there. And once you have the admission letter from one university, you will submit it to CONACYT, or you can apply to CALDO and see if you are able to get an admission letter, and then apply to CONACYT. One of the important things is that CONACYT has deadlines. So, for example, the current deadline is already very close. It's mid this month. So we are doing this webinar because we just have the agreement in place. So we want to give you an idea of what are the CALDO universities, but it's already a tight deadline to apply to this call. But definitely you can start applying either through CONACYT or through CALDO. If CONACYT has the call from CONACYT, if it's closed, you can still apply to CALDO to see if you are able to get an admission letter, and then you will request a scholarship from CONACYT when the call is open. Ninel, on the CONACYT agreement, did you discuss about money amounts to pay a PhD program? So what is discussed there, Ninel, is that CONACYT will pay the students' tuitions, so they will pay the costs of studying at the university, and they will also cover the costs of living for the students. So in a normal situation, you would not have to have any major expense. So everything would be, or at least all the major expense would be covered by CONACYT. Eric, I was wondering if a master's degree has an expiration date, just like the proficiency. No, Eric, your master degree does not have an expiration date. What the professors are looking for in PhDs is basically if the student has a solid research project, so if they want to study something that interests the professor, and also if the student has a good academic record. So aside from that, there's no expiration date. So Laura, you're asking what about the money amount to pay a master degree in so I believe SC is social sciences, I believe. Well, the CONACYT scholarship might offer some scholarships for social sciences. I would need to confirm. I would need to double check this with the scholarship regulations. One thing that you can definitely also do is all of you need to be very aware of which are the scholarship what are the scholarship rules, because obviously if you're applying to a scholarship, you need to know what are your obligations. Okay, so if you go to, once again, to CONACYT website and you type the CONACYT becas al extranjero, or becas en el exterior, sorry. I'm gonna put the link on the so this is CONACYT from Mexico. So if you go to their website, then I'm gonna upload the link so that you are able to see what I'm talking about. So there you go. In the chat box, I have just put the link from CONACYT. So in there you will find a PDF document that it's called Convocatórias Becas CONACYT al Extranjero 2016. So this is the document that you will need to read. Okay, this is the document that will explain you exactly. This is the title of the document that I'm putting here. That you will need to read to understand how the scholarship works. Rosario is asking if students can have a part-time job. Rosario, under the rules of immigration, usually students that come for more than 6 months can study and work. Okay, you will have a limited number of hours that you can work, obviously, because you need to study, but there is the possibility of this working part-time. Eric, you're wondering what process you need to do to take your partner to Canada. So Eric, when you're studying, when you're applying for a visa in Canada, you are able to bring a partner. Okay, so you are able to bring partner or children if you have. You will be entitled to visas for everyone. You will have a study visa. Your partner is able to work while you study, and I know that probably you are also entitled to some sort of benefit from the scholarship. So I believe the CONACYT also offers an additional amount of money per partner and child. But once again, please read the document that I just sent you on the chat box, because it explains everything there. Okay. So one of the things that Carmen is asking, please could you help me to know if my MBA is just for full-time? When can I work after my studies? Is it possible to apply for the residence? So Carmen, the residence, you're talking about the university residence. So I believe you're talking about that. So if all students are able to apply for the university residence, so there's an international office at each university that provides supports to international students. So one of the good things about the CALDO Universities is that there is a structure that is in place to assist you with all of the things that you need. So if you're bringing your family and you need a home for your partner and your children, they will help you find one. Even if they don't have rooms in their residences that are suitable. Oh, sorry, Carmen. Obtener residencia. Okay, so Canadian residency. Well, that depends. Carmen. Those are now immigration issues, and we are not able to give advice on that, because those are things that are not under our control. But there's a page, Immigration Canada, okay, that if you go there, you are able to know a lot of information on how you can, what are your rights when you come to Canada. I know for sure that the current regulation is much more favorable for people to stay in Canada after their studies. However, please note that if you are bringing a scholarship with you, you will need to go back to Mexico, okay, or else you will need to return the money. Ninel, may I send my original language thesis and include a 20 paper talking about my thesis result instead of translating it all? Well, you don't need to send a thesis, Ninel. You just need to send a statement of research. So a statement of research is just a one page where you talk a bit about what type of research project you would like to do in Canada. Okay, so you don't need to translate big documents with theses or projects or papers that you wrote in the past. What the professors usually want to know, and please note, please realize this: professors, they are contacted every day by students from all over the world, so they don't have a lot of time to read big pieces of information. So they just want a very short and very objective type of advice, type of information. Okay, so just use a very simple tool. If you're in doubt as to what tool to use or how to write it, please contact me. Okay, please contact me to the email graduate.coordinator@caldo.ca, and I will send you a template of how to write the statement of research. Okay. So, so far, I think I've answered most questions. I tried to go through all of them. Please let me know if I haven't answered your question in particular. One of the things that you will now get is you will get the presentation. Okay. You will also be receiving the link for this webinar. So this webinar is being recorded in YouTube, so you will get it. And in the meantime, you are also invited to send me an email for any type of questions that you may have on how to apply or how to study in one of our universities. So Rosario is asking, recommendation letter from current job help to get better. Well, Rosario, the recommendation letters that usually the professors request are more academic ones. So it's more related to how suitable the student is to undertake research. So they might not be very interested in knowing if the student is um, a very dedicated professional in the workplace. However, if you feel that the recommendation would help you, you can definitely send it. Okay, but usually recommendation letters for PhDs and masters are more at the academic level. So previous professors that you had that you think that could give you good references as to your ability to undertake research. Ninel is asking about the student visa. So the student visa, Ninel, is something that once you have a letter of admission and you have confirmation that you got the scholarship, you will then go to the Embassy of Canada in Mexico, okay, and you will start your admission and you will start your visa to study in Canada, because one of the things that you will need to prove, or at least that you will need to show proof of, is proof of funds, proof of money. So for you to get a visa, you will need to show a document that will tell the embassy that you have enough money to come to Canada and study. And usually the scholarship letter is what proves that. If you don't have a scholarship, you will need to show any sort of bank statement that will prove that you have enough money to cover for the costs of living and studying in Canada. Okay, but that's always something that you do after you receive the admission letter and after you have you are sure that you get the scholarship. Okay. So if there aren't any further, so how much is enough money? So Rosario, that's a question that varies, and it's difficult to answer. So for example, it depends on the cost of the program. So for you to have an idea, for you to live in a Canadian city, you would need around $1,300 a month. Okay, depending on how much money you spend, obviously. So if you're just living in a normal city, um, you will need at least $1,300 a month. So you need to multiply that by 12, and then to cover the cost of your tuition. So to cover the cost of your tuition, you would need to confirm with us which would be the costs of the program. Okay, and the cost of the program vary very widely. So I would suggest that if you're not applying to a scholarship but you're interested in studying here and you want to have an idea of how much money you need, please contact us and we will be able to give you an idea. Kenya, you're asking if the area is not considered by CONICET, if you can still contact CALDO. Definitely, Kenya. We can always assist anyone in finding a suitable program. Okay, but the thing is, if you don't have financing from CONICET or any other scholarship, we are not able to you are not able to be eligible for the pre-screening process. Okay, but we are always able to assist you with finding a program, that's for sure. Rebecca, I have already done a thesis to get my bachelor degree. You said that we need to prove that we are able to do research. Is this enough for a PhD? So Rebecca, if you just did a bachelor degree, like I said at the beginning, it's fairly hard to go directly to a PhD program. Depending on the professor, on the supervisor, he might accept you. Okay, but usually what happens is that they don't feel very comfortable accepting a student that is coming directly from a bachelor and wants to do a PhD right away. However, it's not impossible. So it depends on the cases. You could definitely submit a pre-screening to the professor. Once again, if you're applying to a scholarship, and then we would need to see what would be the answer of the professors. Okay, so just as a rule, it's not impossible, but it's also not the easiest of the situations if you want to go directly from a bachelor degree to a PhD. So I don't think that there is any question left. I want to thank you all for taking the time to come and meet us in this webinar. Like I said, I'm available through the email that I just mentioned, graduate.coordinator@caldo.ca. I invite you all to go and check out our website, and also to check out the CONICET website in case you're thinking on applying to a scholarship. And you will be receiving information from us, including my contact. So I will be totally available to answer any other questions that you may have, and I would be very happy to hear from you. So please feel free to contact us at CALDO, and we will make sure that you will receive the information that you need. Thank you so much, and enjoy a wonderful end of the day in Mexico, wherever you are in Mexico, and feel free to contact us at any time. Thank you so much. Bye.